What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and have any of you checked on what's happening up in New York City? Have you seen what it looks like up there right now? It literally looks like something from the end of days. It looks like Armageddon. It looks like what I would imagine a city to look like on Mars. For those of you all who might not know, there are a lot of wildfires raging right now in Canada. And apparently, the smoke is traveling from Canada right down to New York City. And it has covered the entire city with like this orange fog. I mean, everything just looks orange. And there's this mist. And it looks like something from a movie. It looks scary. I know a couple of people in the area, and from what they tell me, they're scared to go outside. They don't even want to walk their dog. They don't even have food in their apartment. They don't want to go get any food. They're freaking out. And I understand why. And there are warnings for people to stay inside, but you got to understand, a lot of people in these type of areas, they aren't prepared to stay inside for a few days. Down here in the South, especially in areas where we experience hurricanes, we're kind of ready. We're always ready for like a storm or something. So we usually keep enough food to last us for a week or so, some even longer. But up here in New York, a lot of it is day to day. You go out to the supermarket and you buy food for that day. You go out and do something for that day. You don't store a lot of food and supplies, and a lot of people in the area are faced with, hey, do we stay inside or do we risk the orange fog to go down to the bodega and get a sandwich or some bread? So it's really, really crazy out there right now. And I'm just looking at these scenes, these videos, and these photos. And man, it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. Let's just say that, because it's one of those things that's out of your control. Just yesterday, New York City looked just fine. They unveiled the new free crack pipe vending machine. Yeah, just yesterday. They released vending machines in the city to give away free crack pipes. Everything seemed like it was looking okay. The city was on the up and up. The sky was bright and blue, nice kind of warm weather, but not too warm. And then suddenly, overnight, the city changes into what you are looking at right now. I want to go ahead and hop into this article, but first, hit the thumbs up button. It's totally free. It goes a long way to help my channel. If you would like to see my channel grow, you got to hit that like button. I'm on the road to 100K, and in order to get there, you got to hit that like button. Hit that like button, and let's go ahead and dive right in. Americans in several parts of the eastern U.S. looked up at the sky this afternoon to see the same alarming haze that first appeared on Tuesday night. There were more than 400 wildfires burning in Canada on Tuesday, according to the Canadian Interagency Forest Fire Center, causing unhealthy smoke conditions from New York to Michigan. As of Wednesday, June 7th, New York City was the city with the worst air quality on Earth. For New York residents, an air quality advisory was shared in multiple regions. It indicates that fine particles in the air have reached an unhealthy level, especially for sensitive groups. This is not going to go on for months. It's going to pass. This is not going to last. This is not a pandemic, says Adrian Prestas, a pulmonologist at the Hackensack Meridian Bayshore Medical Center. This is going to go on for days, maybe a week. I wish I knew how long it would go on for sure, but it all depends on what happens in Canada, so people should pay attention to that. The smoke from these ferocious Canadian wildfires has casted a sickly pale over much of the eastern United States today, worsening air quality for millions of people. The air was acrid, skylines looked orange, and municipal officials told people to stay indoors. The National Weather Service does not expect things to get much better by tomorrow. About 115 million people were under air quality alerts due to wildfire smoke and ozone from Texas to Vermont on Wednesday evening. For smoke alone, around 90 million were under alerts across 16 different states. Governor Kathy Hochul says that tomorrow morning, 1 million N95 masks will be made available at state facilities. 400,000 will be distributed to New Yorkers at MTA stations, bus terminals, state parks, and the Javits Center. 600,000 will be available from NYSDHSES stockpiles for local governments to pick up. So, all in all, they made sure that they were going to get people back in those masks. That's my main takeaway. But all jokes aside, even though that's kind of only halfway a joke, when I see this, it's like, man, I am glad I live down here in the South. But then again, for those of you all who might not know, it's been reported that this huge blob of bacteria is headed to our coastlines. So y'all got the smoke, we got the bacteria blobs. All I can say is that it's not looking good for 2023. The summer of 2023 is not off to a good start. New York looks like it's in the middle of freaking hell. Down here in the South, we got this bacteria blob ready to wipe everyone out of the beach. It's scary. But for the people of New York, I wonder how it must feel to be kind of trapped in one of these situations. And it's weird because it seems like these type of events are even scarier when it happens in a big city. Because when you're surrounded by that many people, you know, you have to understand that all it takes is one little thing for people to start panicking. And a situation like this, maybe if you live in a small town, your town comes together, you put your resources together and you figure it out. But in a place like New York City, it can very quickly become dog eat dog. It can very quickly turn into chaos on the streets. Now the smoke seems to be keeping most people inside. But I can imagine after people are locked up in their house for 3 or 4 days, hardly able to breathe, getting hungry, when they come out, there's going to be a lot of tensions. I wouldn't want to be on the streets of New York when all of this dust settles. I can tell you that right now. As far as the air quality goes, I don't know if you can really escape that by being indoors. Yeah, maybe you're not as exposed to it. You're not as exposed to the elements. But if it looks like that outside, I gotta believe that the air you're breathing in your house ain't that great. I mean, you're in New York, so it already ain't that great. So looking at this, it's like, damn. You know what I mean? But I'm hoping that this goes away soon. I think it's time that we start asking questions about a lot of these wildfires that happen, because I don't want to say too much in this video, but last time I looked into these wildfires, I found a lot of weird stuff. And part of me questions how some of these fires actually start. I'm not trying to, go down a rabbit hole here in this video, but you all can look into it on your free time. And I'm not the only one asking this question. A lot of people have been asking the question lately, because some of these wildfires, they don't seem organic. They don't really seem accidental. And I'm wondering if there is some type of agenda behind why some of these things are constantly happening. 400 wildfires in Canada. And you know, it seems like there's this uptick of wildfires around the same time that there's this uptick in factories exploding. You know, you got the trains going off the rails. You got all of these wild situations that seem to just be happening at an alarming rate over the last few years. And maybe it's all a coincidence. Maybe our country, our North America as a whole, maybe we're just falling apart at the seams at this point. I don't know. But there just seems to be a lot going on, if you know what I mean. And as someone who's always paid attention to the news cycle, I've never seen so many crazy events happen just over and over and over again. And before we could even find out answers for one, we got 3 more to worry about. So it is what it is. Like I said, if you're living in this area and you're affected by this, try to stay indoors, do what you can. I don't got any advice for you because I don't even know how I would react in this situation. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.